Welcome back. Hope you guys are doing good. I know it's been a little while since I last put out a video, and that just happens to be because I've had a little bit of trouble with my car. I had to get it fixed, had a crazy week. That's all over and taken care of. So let's get back to business. What are we reviewing today? Well, it's MASKARD by Umesh. That being said, I have reviewed something else of his in the past. This item is really cool as well. So we're going to talk about the whole performance, how good it is, and how easy it is to perform. So let's jump right in. So the first thing that I'd like to talk about is the setup, because when you get the download, it talks about how to build the gimmick. So let's talk about what information is provided. Now, the key things here is that it provides everything you need to actually perform the trick properly. So that's super important. There's nothing that's not talked about in detail. So the detail seems to be fairly good. Now, the only possible downside that I personally found was that the whole tutorial is taught in one go, and it's fairly long. I feel like the tutorial could have been a lot quicker and simpler if they had just chosen to cut up, the video, and so that could have made it quicker and easier to learn. But the video just was kind of done, all in one take, and there was a lot of extra stuff in there that was not needed to be shown. So that's kind of a downside. So I wouldn't give it 5 stars in this area only because of that one thing. I still give it 4 stars. If you're looking for the effect, it's going to teach you what you need to know. So just understand the star that I deduct is not because the trick is bad. In this specific area, I'm talking about, just the fact that the tutorial could have been a little bit quicker in divulging the information. Now, that being said, let's talk about the trick itself. How easy is the trick itself to perform? Well, if you're on stage, I think this is doable. You could take it out hiding behind a deck of cards or whatever, have the gimmick hidden somewhere, and then you could pull it out really quickly and then do the trick. Obviously, it's an intro to whatever you're doing, and that's what it would work for. Now, if you're doing this close-up, I don't think it would personally work that well, so that's one of my things that I want to point out. I guess if you made the gimmick really well, which I made a sloppy version of the gimmick for this thing here, you could get a lot more specific and detailed with it if you wanted, but my version was sloppy. Mainly because I haven't had a lot of time, so I didn't sit down and take as much details as I'm not performing this live. But if I was performing it live, even if I spent a lot of time, I'd still be a little bit hesitant to do this close up, just because preparing it and everything would be a little bit harder, and I think it wouldn't be worth the risk to me personally. So keep that in mind. For stage, definitely something I do. Perfect way to start out a routine. You just come on stage with a deck of cards, you show the cards, and then bam, Now, the thing is, there are some creative ideas that I came up with that are possible ways to store this so that you could jump into it easier. Because the only problem is, if I was going to start it, I would want to get into it under a little bit of cover. So that's another possible negative thing. Overall though, since the effect does what it says, and since it is actually possible to perform this in real life, I still give it 4 stars and no less, because it's still really good. The only downsides are just some little extra details that could have been figured out. So that's basically what it is. As you can see, I was able to perform it fairly easy. I only had to do it once and it worked. Or actually I took 2 shots, because one of the shots I forget what I did, but I made some funny face or something, and I was like, well, I'm going to retake that. But really, only 2 shots is what it took for me to make it look perfect in front of the camera, and in front of people on a stage, it would take just 1 shot as well, So if you're not too worried about what you look like, I'm sure you'll be fine, because that was my only downside. All right, that pretty much covers everything about the trick itself. Now, let's just talk about some of the supplies you're going to need. Are any of the supplies something that's going to be hard to find? The fact is, no, actually. Everything you should be able to get very easy and very cheap. You shouldn't really have to pay for a whole lot unless you don't have any masks and you don't have any glue or other items around, If you don't have all the standard stuff you use to make any type of, serious card gimmick or any gimmick at all, then you might have to go out and buy something, but it's going to be under $10. So that's fairly reasonable, I think. Anyways, that sums up my review of this product. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thanks for your time, and remember, if you like what I do, smash that like button. Thanks for your time, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, and there is more giveaways coming. I'm just going to take a little hiatus for the next video and this video as well, just because I want to regroup everything and get my life back in order after having trouble with my car. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you again soon.